It takes a little bit of mind over matter when the image freezes on the screen to keep talking as if it's moving because the numbers are moving and you know it's recording, and your face is frozen there with your eyes half open and half shut. It's hard to do. I'm working on it. When making a risk and benefit assessment of things in your life, it's kind of like making a pro and con list that we all kind of grow up with. You make a list of the pros and you make a list of the cons. You know, what are the best things that could possibly happen in this situation? What are the worst things that could possibly happen in this situation? If I make this choice, if I make that choice. Well, it's pretty easy when it comes to preparedness to look at the risk benefit factor because you risk a little bit of money, you risk time, you risk using up space in your home to store things with. But the benefits, on the other hand, are pretty dramatic. And so the cost of the risks involved is minimal when you consider the possible benefits. When you're talking about being able to save your life and prevent suffering, then that's a lot of benefits to be had. And the image is still frozen. It's just totally freaking me out. I'm trying to roll with punches here. So you have cost assessment, you have risk benefit assessing. You make pros and cons lists about things in your life when you're trying to decide about things like taking a job in another state, about, well, there's all kinds of things that could go on that list, but I guess I'm not going to mention the ones I had in mind, but there are lots of things that could go on that list. Um, so the risk versus the benefit in a lot of scenarios are going to be very complex and very hard to nail down. I think with preparedness, they're very easy to nail down, but as in lots of other areas of our life, I think get to the point where you could make this list and you can make that list and you can even weight them, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5, how important is this to you, and score them and come up with some pretty complex scenarios. When all is said and done, there are times when you need to just take that risk benefit assessment, lay it aside, and go with your heart. You need to just ask yourself, what does your heart tell you about this circumstance? And it was interesting to me to hear different people approach that decision-making process from different ends of the spectrum. Some people believe that you should listen to your head and go with your heart. And some people think that you should listen with your heart and go with your head. Interesting. So there's a lot of differences there. But with preparedness, with putting aside foods, if they're not packaged for long term, you do risk losing some of them. But when you have foods that are packaged in number 10 cans with oxygen absorbers, most of your risk has gone right out the window because the container is so durable that you're going to be run a very low risk of destroying the product because of the container. And then the process is so effective that you're going to very seriously minimize your risk of having the product go to ruin. Yes, I have had some things, but not the number 10 cans with oxygen absorbers that have had to meet their demise, go back to meet their maker, I guess. So it's a new week. We have new things in the news. I'm sorry, I'm not looking very upbeat and optimistic today, but they announced on Friday that 50% of the counties in the United States had been declared disaster areas because of the drought. Half. That's quite a number. So I really do take the optimistic viewpoint on these things, and I probably always will. I do feel that we have a lot to look forward to. We have a lot of good things coming ahead in the future, but we should probably have extras of everything on hand that we would need for short-term benefit and for long-term survival and benefit as well. So I had some other things in mind, but I think I'm going to clip that at 4 minutes and 44 seconds. God bless your efforts to prepare, make a list, check it twice, so you can eat more than these things and just try. Listen to your heart. Bye.